All right, and we should be back. We should be back right now, exclusively live on D Live, to do the riff of Glen or Glenda, a classic. Well, I guess apparently classic movie. I haven't seen Ed Wood movie. We'll also be doing before that, since it's only an hour and 10-minute long movie. We will be doing Boys Beware, a 1950s educational film, and then the sequel, Girls Beware, a 1961 educational film. So we're going to do those two. Here's how donations are going to work. Like I said, I'm gonna just pause them temporarily, but I want you guys to get your lines in and stuff. So when I find a lull or I find something that's worth, me stopping over, I will, and I'll let them go through. We're going to start, like I said, with a couple educational films. Educational films are the best. And when I say educational films, you have to remember these films, these educational films, were shown in schools. Like, this wasn't like an educational film that you would see on CBS. These were shown at schools. So, hello, D-Live family. How are you? Let's do this. Boys Beware, 1950s educational film. This was produced with the help of a police department. With the help of a police department. It's very whimsical music. Owen would love this. Listen to the whimsy. I guess that's a police day. Okay. I'm gonna get in my humongous death machine. Before seatbelts were invented. Now, not a lot of people know that this scene is what inspired James Nguyen to record a driving scene in Birdemic. This is true.
I'm Lieutenant Williams, a police officer attached to the Juvenile Division. I'm on my way to Monroe Junior High School to talk to a group of young people.
But first, I have to hit some coloreds with a billy stick.
Seems like a good way to get from one place
People
to
used to
another.
hitchhike.
But sometimes there are dangers involved that never meet the eye.
Like black people.
Let's take the case of Jimmy Barnes.
Let's take the case
Jimmy
of Sexy
played
Jimmy.
baseball
We'll call
all
him Sexy
afternoon,
Jimmy.
He didn't feel like walking home, so he decided to thumb a ride. He'd done it 100 times before, and he didn't think anything was unusual when the driver struck up a friendly conversation.
He also had an
seemed
erection.
Like a real nice guy. He asked Jimmy if he played baseball in the park often. Jimmy told him they practiced 3 times a week and played a rival group on Friday afternoon. The stranger was a good listener, too, and it only seemed minutes before they pulled up in front of Jimmy's house.
What a nice guy, giving rides to kids. What can go
Jimmy
wrong?
Got out, the stranger gave him a friendly pat.
That friendly pat. What's wrong with a friendly pat? People pat each other in the
He
mouth.
told him he'd see him
Oh boy,
again.
that's a kid
He
fucker.
always drove by the park on his
No,
way home.
definitely a kid fucker. Before anything else, you can tell. Little mustache, sunglasses. It's a kid fucker.
Sure enough.
There's the
following
kid
day,
fucker.
When Jimmy finished playing ball, well, the man was there waiting.
And he kept saying that he was the brother of some guy named Ron Howard, and I didn't know what that meant because Ron Howard was just a kid when this came out.
They stopped at a drive-in, and the stranger treated him to a Coke.
And a hand
During
job.
their conversation, he told several off-color jokes. But Jimmy
He
had
told
heard
jokes
others
about
before,
colored
and,
people.
Well, it made him feel big to so easily win the confidence of
What
an
else
older
was
person.
big? His penis. Listen to this whimsical music. Nothing can go wrong with music this
Following
whimsical.
Saturday, they went fishing together. By now, they were using first names. Ralph said it was more friendly.
Ralph always wore Dockers one size too small, so you could see the bulge in his pedophile pants.
Jimmy hadn't enjoyed himself so much in a long time. Then during lunch, Ralph showed him some pornographic pictures. Jimmy knew he shouldn't be interested, but, well, he was curious. What Jimmy didn't know was that Ralph was sick. A sickness that was not visible.
What does he
like
have, like a
smallpox,
flu or?
but no less dangerous and contagious. A sickness of the mind.
Gonorrhea?
You see,
what is
Ralph
it?
was a homosexual, a person who demands an intimate relationship with members of their own sex. But by now, Jimmy felt a fondness for Ralph, and they continued to go places together. Ralph was generous and took Jimmy many interesting places and did many nice things for him.
Ralph was a homosexual.
He bought presents and even gave him money, but payments were expected in return. You see, Jimmy hadn't recognized
Butt-fucking
Ralph's
payments, he
approach
called
soon
them.
enough. When Ralph first asked Jimmy to go fishing alone, he should have discussed it with his parents or teacher.
And this is how Jimmy became a
Finally,
Nickelodeon
Jimmy
star.
told his parents, and they reported it to the juvenile authorities. Ralph was arrested, and Jimmy was released on probation in the custody
For
of his
having
parents.
sex with a man.
But all homosexuals are not passive.
They're not.
Some resort to violence, as in the case of Mike Merritt.
And Milo Yiannopoulos. Look at more whimsy. That kid just got
in the
raped,
heat of
dude.
competition, no one noticed the man who sat and watched. And when the game broke
Jimmy
up,
got raped and
the
he's on
others
probation.
left.
Don't you
Mike
miss the old
decided to
times?
Stay and practice a little longer.
Jimmy's not good at basketball, man. Wait till they start letting black kids come here and start dunking on these
Stranger
O's.
joined him. He was friendly, and well, it was better than
He was playing
alone.
basketball in a suit, which wasn't weird at all for the time.
But after
Swish.
a few shots, Mike realized he had already overstayed his time and suggested he better leave. The stranger told him if he'd like to stay longer, he'd be glad to drive him home when they finished. Sounded great to Mike. Chance to play longer and get a ride home, too.
Swish! You know what else has a hole, Jimmy? Yeah, definitely a kid fucker. Look, it's really clear. You could always point out these kid fuckers.
When they finished, the stranger told him he'd make a fine player someday if he got lots of practice. The companionship, the praise, the friendly attitude dispelled any misgivings.
And that kid
Mike
went
might
on
have
to
had
be
about
Pat
going
Riley,
with a
famous
stranger.
coach of the
He
Knicks.
probably never realized until too late that he was riding in the shadow of death. But sometime that evening,
Riding in the
Mike
shadow of
Merritt
death.
traded
That's
his life
metal.
for
That's a metal
newspaper
name.
headline. As Denny and Jerry got the papers ready for Jerry's afternoon delivery, they only casually noticed the two
Oh, I've
boys
seen this.
that
This was in
raced by
Goodfellas,
the
right?
Afternoon traffic, and they didn't pay much attention to the car that drew up shortly afterwards until the man called them over.
Come over here, kids.
Had two boys been by on bicycles? The boys nodded they had. Could they recognize them if they saw them again? Well, Denny guessed he could.
Get in the
And
car.
hop in, the man said. Those are stolen bikes.
What's going to happen?
Without giving it another thought, Denny got in and the car sped away. Jerry watched. He'd been told many
Oh, no.
times, if a
I hope
friend
they
got in
find
the
those
car
bike
with a
thieves.
stranger to write down
You think
the
they're going to
license
find those
number.
bike
It
thieves?
didn't seem to apply, but, well, fortunately, he
I mean, what
marked
could
it
happen?
down. When he delivered a paper to Denny's house, he asked his mother if they'd caught the boys that had stolen the bicycles.
What
Denny hadn't
bicycles?
returned, so
You don't
he
have
told her
any
the
friends.
story and gave her the paper with the license number.
Uh-oh. Well, and let me guess, the police got there and they saved them and everything was
Being
fine.
a careful parent, she decided to call the police.
Good job.
Jerry supplied
So
the
everything should be
necessary
fine.
information, and the stranger's car was quickly spotted. It was a good example of how important it is to always get the license number and description of any stranger who takes a young person off alone.
It's a
no
very
matter what
specific
they
rule,
do.
but I'll try to remember it.
Public restrooms can often be a hangout for the homosexual. Bobby and his friends hadn't noticed the man who had been in the restroom when they changed, and as it was late, he suggested they take the shortcut under the pier, but the others preferred to take the more traveled way home.
And everything's fine, right? Everything worked out fine? This is very aggressive music. I think everything's not going to be fine. Why would you go that way?
When Bobby recognized the stranger as the man in the restroom, the shortcut under the pier didn't seem like a good idea at all.
That was a close one. He was going to get raped.
After all, it's more fun to stay with your friends anyway. Bobby had made a wise decision. It may have saved his life. The decision is always
Damn, they've been
yours,
using restrooms a long
and
time.
your
Good
whole
point.
future may depend on making the right one. So no matter where you meet a stranger,
Where?
be careful if they are too friendly, if they try to win your confidence too quickly, and if they become overly personal. One never knows when the homosexual is about.
They're usually wearing jean shorts and rollerblades.
Too late when you discover he is mentally ill. So keep with your group, and don't go off alone with strangers unless you have the permission of your parent or teacher.
Well, I hope that helped you guys understand and beware of homosexuals when you're in the street. They're clearly all pedophiles. This is 1955. This is a police department. A police department that put this out. All right, we're going to get into Glen or Glenda very soon. One more, though. One more PSA that I wanted to play. Mostly because Glen and Glenda is a shorter movie. One more PSA. Girls Beware. Now, this one I don't remember. I know Boys Beware. This is Girls Beware. It's a sequel. Oh, no, the audio's messed up. It's only coming out on one side. Sorry, guys. Not my fault. Oh, same police department, Inglewood. Inglewood, always up to no good. Ugh. What an uggo.
I'm Norma Neufner, policewoman, attached to the juvenile division.
All right, first off, policewoman?
Whose daughter is missing. Her daughter's name is Judy Miller.
Sorry, the sound's all fucked up.
Judy enjoyed babysitting, but there weren't enough jobs among the people she knew, so she decided to advertise at the supermarket for extra work.
All right, it's a good idea. You're getting a job. Maybe getting some men their coffee.
Late the following afternoon, the phone rang, and Judy was offered a job for that evening.
Nice.
The man told her he and his wife were going out to dinner and that their regular...
And then they were raging swingers, and they wanted to know if they needed a third. Again, whimsical music.
Judy's mother hadn't returned when it was time to go, so she left a message by the telephone.
Nice, nice. Where are they going that this guy's in a tux? No, seriously. Like, so everyone says they wore a suit and tie when you went someplace really nice, you had to wear a tux?
When her mother came home, she found Judy's note and called the number to let Judy know she was home in case she wanted anything.
Oh, good. All right. Hello?
Answered, but she didn't know anything about Judy and told Mrs. Miller she must have
I told you to stop calling her. There's no Judy here. Judy died 10 years ago. What an evil prank. What an awful, awful prank to play.
By midnight, Mrs. Miller was really worried.
Me
She
too.
phoned the police and was transferred to juvenile.
Ah!
We took the necessary information and assured her we'd do everything we could. She'd have to try to be patient and wait.
Fucking
The
that
waiting
cop looks like
lasted
Harry
almost a
Connick
week.
Jr.
Then
Doesn't
the
it?
report came in. Judy's body had been found on a lonely desert road.
They found her body. They rape
The most
kids,
difficult part
but
of
they
my job is
kill
bringing
women.
bad news to parents.
That's why she goes to her Sunday best to tell bad news.
You can never find the right words to tell a mother her daughter has been murdered. Judy hadn't done anything wrong. She'd only been careless. Careless about whom she'd trusted. In itself, there'd been nothing wrong about advertising.
She
for a
really
job,
looks
but
like
it
Harry
led to
Connick
trusting
Jr.
a person she knew nothing about. A mentally sick person.
Oh,
who
no,
used her
she's
innocent
trying.
ad as an introduction to his
Oh
active
no,
violence.
that's real crying, folks. That's real crying.
Being
Ah!
safe is often no more than applying good judgment in everyday life. One night while Barbara was babysitting, the doorbell rang. She didn't open the door, but called and asked who it was.
But they were doing something called the pizza dare. So she dropped her towel when the pizza man showed up.
Barbara was very polite.
Barbara was
She told
killed
her
by
she
a
was
Mexican
babysitting
pizza
and
delivery
expecting a
boy.
call from her parents. However, she was sure the next door neighbors were home and perhaps he could use their phones. The stranger thanked her and left. Now, Barbara had been polite and helpful, but she hadn't taken any
Very
chances.
kind, Barbara.
And when her father called, she was safe.
For little young Forrest Gump here. It's good music, whimsical music. I like this. Oh, these guys are looking for Marty McFly.
Friday night was movie time for Sally and Elizabeth. Their parents alternated weeks, taking them and picking them up. Friendships are easily made in a crowded theater, and when two older boys struck up a conversation and moved next to them, they were
Their
secretly
pantyhose
pleased.
got soaked. Oh, no, sorry.
At intermission, Sally found it flattering to have her friends see her in the company of older boys, and when they asked if they could take the girls home, she was all for it. She asked Elizabeth to call her folks and tell them that they could ride with a friend's parents. Elizabeth was tempted, but decided it wouldn't be right.
But then Crispin Glover showed up and he says, "Get your damn hands off of her." Oh, no, sorry. Wrong thing.
When the show was over and they were leaving,
They went to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, where a white man who was going to have Parkinson's in the future sang a famously black man song and stole all the credit for it.
Elizabeth didn't like the idea, but Sally insisted. So, Elizabeth left alone.
They did anal.
Not
You're not ready for this, but your kids are going to love it.
It was fun riding with the older fellows. But when they drove right past her house,
They drove into a pile of manure. Biff Tannen was very angry.
When they arrived at Lookout Peak, she was frightened. She tried to convince herself there was nothing to worry about, but when they parked off the road, she knew she had gotten herself into something. she
Oh,
couldn't
boy. She learned about a devil's threesome.
At midnight, her parents became alarmed and called the Nelsons. Yes, Elizabeth was home. Hadn't they picked up Sally? No, over an hour ago.
Young
Of
Tulsi
course
Gabbard
they
here.
talked to
Or
Elizabeth.
Tulsi Gabbard's mom.
Between guilty tears, Elizabeth
There you
told
go.
what had happened. Sally had been found, dazedly walking down the road from Lookout Peak. It was a night they'll long remember.
Ironically,
In fact,
Lookout
Sally may
Peak
never
was
be able to
located
forget
near Rape Alley.
Often
$23?
seen in innocent
23
places
cents,
can
excuse
turn
me,
out
for
to be just
burgers?
Where wrong associations are made.
Can we talk about that more?
Mary met Robert at just such a place.
Forget Robert, seriously, 23
Robert
cents?
frequented the malt shop in his spare time, which was considerable, as he'd finished high school and didn't work. Here he sought out the company of younger teenagers because he wasn't accepted by those of his own age group. Mary and
Uh-oh.
her girlfriend could always be found at the malt shop after school.
This is how Anthony Cumia picks up chicks, too.
Mary had seen Robert before and thought he was very good looking, so she was naturally flattered when he singled her out and struck up a friendly conversation. He was fun to talk to, and they discussed everything from cars to movie stars.
He said, I'm not a pedophile. Technically, I'm a
He was
hebephile.
happy to accept.
Yeah, you're right. What town is this? I think they should just nuke it. Good point, Emerald. What? Jesus Christ. to the whimsy.
They drove around for a while and talked. Mary was a good listener, and Bob enjoyed nothing more than talking about himself.
She gave a stellar hand job.
Mary knew her mother would be upset if she came home with an older boy, so Bob dropped her at the corner.
Okay, I know I'm louder than the video. I'm very loud because the video was only recorded on one channel and very low.
After that, they saw a good deal of each other. At first, Bob was willing to see her at the malt shop, but as time went on, he became jealous of her.
I really do have the video cranked up as loud as I can.
More time alone.
More whimsical music, guys. More whimsy.
They began to go to secluded places, and their relationship became more intimate.
Oh, that's cute.
Mary knew things were getting out of hand because Bob became more and more demanding. But not wishing to lose his friendship or the prestige she enjoyed from her friends for having an older boyfriend,
Is this
she complied
prestige?
with his desire.
Prestige.
Then Mary found she was in trouble and had to tell her parents. But now it was too late for advice, and Mary had to be taken out of school and placed under the guidance of juvenile authorities.
Why?
Unfortunately, Mary's story is not an unusual one.
Because Mary had
Too
sex?
many young girls are flattered by the attention of older boys and don't realize until too late that these boys, who cannot compete in their own
You hear that,
age group,
ladies?
are often not well adjusted and will demand
Thank you,
too much in a
K-Dog.
relationship
Ninja Genie.
with
I was
younger
approached by a
girls.
pedophile this exact same way
You
at
see,
a
it's
park
often the things
when
that
I
are
was
done without
25
thinking that get young people into
who
trouble.
thought I was 15.
Trying to
Jesus.
move too quickly into a world of grown-ups with a young person's faith often cause heartache and disaster.
Oh, no. But I don't get it. So she had sex with an older dude and she got arrested? And the other kid got probation? Why are these people getting arrested in probation? Maybe this is why victims didn't come forward back then. They would get in trouble. Like, you know what? When these pedophiles always say, if you say anything, you're going to get in trouble too. They were right. They were right. These people kept getting in trouble. All right. Time for the main movie here. It was Glen or Glenda, 1953 movie. I'm very excited to do this one. Let me see if there's any donations to play through, because now would be a good time. I don't think so. Yeah, no donations. Thanks, guys. Now, without further ado, get ready, because I saw it when Torlita played it, but I mean, I was on and off watching it, so there's going to be some surprises in this one for me too. Glen or Glenda. As Dracula. Famously Dracula, Bela Lugosi. Oh yeah, back then they used to put all like the credits before the movie, so you couldn't like just leave at the end. Personal supervision of George Weiss. Man, they even controlled it back then, even old Hollywood. Even old Hollywood. In the making of this film, which deals with a strange and curious subject, no punches have been pulled, no easy way has been taken out. Many of the smaller parts are portrayed by persons who actually are in real life the character they portray on screen. This is a picture of stark realism. Take no sides, but giving you all the facts as they are today. You are a society. Judge ye not. This guy played Dracula for so long. Ooh, spooky. Ooh.
Man's constant groping of things unknown, drawing from the endless reaches of time.
Why is he still talking like Dracula? Is he Dracula in this movie too?
Many startling things. Startling because they seem new, sudden. But most are not new.
Ooh.
To the
I want to
signs of
suck
the
your
age.
blood. This guy is Dracula no matter what he does. He's doing an experiment. He's trying to make Crystal Pepsi in his house. I think that's illegal. You're not allowed. It's a proprietary formula, Dracula. It's a proprietary formula, Drac. I think we got a couple donations.
Whoa!
Get your damn hands on this donation.
Thank you. All right. And now for an olive.
Whoa! Day.
Happy birthday, champ. Sorry about the AIDS.
I don't have AIDS, but thank you. Science.
Life has begun.
Finally. So, like, is he God or the devil in this? What is he? Is he the devil? Look at that beautiful city. No crime there.
People. All going somewhere.
Yeah, that's like transportation 101, dude. What do you want them to do? Stay at
All
home?
with their own thoughts.
Their own mind.
ideas, all with their own personalities.
Uh-huh. All with their own
One
dress
is
hats.
wrong because he does right. And one is right because he does wrong.
This shot was really expensive back then, too. Pull it.
Dance to that. Which one is created for?
Hey, I think somebody left the window open. I'm getting a lot of wind noise in this. I'm getting a lot of wind noise in this. What did you see? Did something fly through the window?
The day is begun.
Oh, a baby.
A new life is begun. A life is ended.
Who died? Did she die? Wow, these actors are really good. Yeah, she's definitely dead. We have to give her a hysterectomy, just to be sure. It's a suicide note. Is this a dude?
The records will tell the story. I was put in jail recently. Why? Because I, a man, was caught on the street wearing women's clothing. This was
Well,
my
back
fourth
again, the good old days.
for the same act. In life, I must continue.
This isn't the
wearing
new
them.
Captain Marvel
Therefore, it
movie.
would only be a matter of time until my next arrest. This is the only way. Let my body
radiator?
rest in death forever. In the things I cannot wear in life.
All right, so who gets to fuck the dead body first? We gotta get out of here. My wife's making pot roast.
Inspector Warren is here to see you, Dr. Alton.
Oh, yes. Show him in, Miss Stevens.
Man, nurses used to dress like nurses back in the day.
Inspector? Doctor?
Doctor? Doctor? Doctor? Doctor? Doctor? Doctor? Doctor?
You're a very busy man, Dr. Alton, I know. I appreciate
I
this
forgot
time
my
you're giving me.
lines.
Business or pleasure, Inspector?
But film was very expensive, so we took
In a
whatever we
way,
could.
Business. From policeman to inspector. 20 years of it. I guess I've seen everything there is for a policeman to see.
I saw a black
Yet I
man
wonder if
kissing a
we
white
ever
woman.
stop learning.
Of course he was killed.
Learning about which we see. Trying to learn more about...
Oh, no, this is actually
And now
Teddy
the
Spaghetti's
production.
dad. He inherited all the books from him. There he is.
I'm a man who
That's
thrives on
Seymour. That's
learning.
Seymour Spaghetti.
We only have one life to live. We throw that one away. What is there left?
Can you not smoke in my office, you animal? Especially a
Doctor?
fucking cigar, doctor. Doctor, doctor,
I'm
doctor,
hoping to learn
doctor,
something from
doctor.
you. And with that knowledge, maybe save some human from a fate which I just witnessed a few days ago. A 4-time loser. This type of case comes to me as well as yourself many times during the course of 1 month.
The suicide?
The suicide.
Good cuts.
Most of us
Tony,
have
is
our
that Tony Stark's
idiosyncrasies.
dad?
This fellow's was quite pronounced.
Yes, but I wonder if it rated the death warrant it received. I don't think so.
Well, that's why I'm here today, Doctor. What do we do about it?
I've always heard you to be a hard-hearted policeman, Inspector.
Isn't that what's thought of most policemen? The laws are written. The policeman is hired to see that those laws are enforced. We have a job to do.
Doctor?
As in most
Doctor?
jobs,
Doctor?
there's always somebody who doesn't
Doctor?
want that job to be done.
Doctor?
In most factories today,
Doctor?
the employer
Doctor?
has put up suggestion boxes.
Doctor? Doctor?
Even the employer
Doctor?
needs
Doctor?
advice once in a while.
Doctor?
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 I think in the case
Doctor?
that we're
Doctor?
referring to,
And doctor.
I need
Well,
advice.
We missed.
Maybe it shouldn't have happened as it did. But it did. Perhaps the next time we can prevent it.
Let's get our story straight. You're referring to the suicide of the transvestite?
Even back
If that's the
then,
word you men of medical science use for a man who wears woman's clothing.
transvestite, and that was a
Yes, in
PC
cold,
term.
technical language, that's the word. As
Hear that?
unfriendly and as vicious as it may sound. However, in actuality, it's not an unfriendly word, nor is it vicious when you
See,
know the people to whom it
transvestite's
pertains.
fine.
Would the sex operation do these people any good? I understand you were quite prominent in a case that hit the headlines a few weeks ago.
In some cases,
Doctor?
yes, others, no.
Well, the papers certainly had a field day with that one.
Strange as it may seem, even though it was a field day, as you so aptly put it, it's not a new story. Sex change has been performed many times.
1955.
Those whose sex can be changed, they're the easy ones. But what of
1955.
those who so desperately want to be of the opposite sex, yet can't change their sex? Such as was the case with Patrick.
Such as
Patricia,
Seals.
the suicide.
I'd like to understand this, Doctor, as best you can
Doctor?
tell me.
You can only fully understand the sex change by taking two entirely different cases. Two men with exactly the same background, from childhood to manhood and on to their own decisions and destinations.
I'd like to hear the story to the fullest.
Only the infinity of the depths of a man's mind can really
Oh,
tell
boy.
the story.
Okay. We're going into his mind, dude. We're going into the man's mind. Apparently that's where Bela Lugosi lives, in the dude's mind. Yeah, he does.
Dr. Alton.
I can't hear you over the
The
thunder.
young man, though, is...
I can't hear you over the
speaks
thunder.
the words of the All-Wise.
I can't hear you. It's too. The thunder's too loud.
No one can really tell
Look,
the
this.
story.
Wait. How about we wait for the storm? Can you come closer?
Mistakes are made.
A little. A little. I can't.
There is no
I don't know what you're saying, Dracula.
the thought
The thunder's too
of
loud.
man's mind. The story is begun.
Right now?
One might say, there, but for the grace of God, go I.
That 1955 tranny.
Why is the modern world shocked by this headline?
I don't know.
Why?
Why not?
Once, not so very long ago, the people of the world were saying,
airplanes. Why, it's against the Creator's will.
Who was saying that? A witch?
The Creator wanted us to fly.
Did you interview some sort of specter? Or maybe something haunted?
Maybe some of you may still remember an even sillier remark.
A Mexican working a hard day's work.
They scare the hosses. If the Creator had meant for us to roll around the countryside, we'd have been born with wheels.
I don't think that's true.
Certainly. We were not born with wings. We were not born with wheels.
Wheels.
But in the modern world of today, it's an accepted fact that we must have them. So we have corrected that which nature has not given us. Strangely enough, nature has given us all these things. We just had to learn how to put nature's elements together.
Oh,
for our use,
okay.
That's all. Yet the world
World's
is
shocked by
a
sex change.
If the Creator had wanted us to fly, he'd have given us wings.
Boil, toil, and trouble.
All around the countryside, we'd have been born with wheels.
We heard this already.
If the Creator had meant us to be boys, we certainly would have been born boys.
With dicks.
If the Creator had meant us to be born girls, we certainly would have been born girls.
Vaginas.
Are we sure? Nature makes mistakes. It's proven every day. This person is a transvestite, a man who is more comfortable wearing girls'
Listen to this
clothes.
propaganda in
The
1955.
term transvestite is the name given by medical science to those persons who wear the clothing of the opposite sex. Many a transvestite actually wishes to be the opposite sex.
That's true.
The title of this can only be labeled
What's up, bro?
Behind Locked
What's
Doors.
Rob Riggle doing in a fucking
Give
wig?
this man satin
Seriously.
undies, a dress, a sweater, and a
Does it
skirt,
look like Rob
or even
Riggle
the
in a
lounging
fucking
outfit
wig?
He has on, and he's the happiest individual in the world. He can work better, think better.
That or
he
Henry
can
Rollins
play
in a
better,
wig.
And he can be more of a credit to his community and his government because he is happy. These things are his comfort. But why the wig and makeup?
Because
He
he's
dares
a
enter
fuck.
the
Can't
street
say it on
dressed in the
D-Live.
clothes he so much desires to wear, but only if he really appears female. The long hair, the makeup, the clothing,
The penis.
the actual contours of a girl. Most
The balls.
transvestites do not want to change their life, their bodies. Many of them simply want to change the
And for
clothing
no
they
reason
wear,
at all. I
that
hear you,
is
K-Dog.
worn by the opposite sex. Glen is engaged to be married to Barbara, a lovely, intelligent girl.
Barbara could get it.
Those fingernails have got to go.
You know, I didn't realize they're as long as they are.
My goodness, they're almost as long as mine.
They're long because
Maybe even
he's, of
prettier.
course, dressing as a
We'll
girl.
have to paint them sometime just for the fun of it.
Or
trim them.
That's for sure.
You know, honey, you've invited me to dinner so many times in the last couple of months. It's almost like we were married already.
I wish we were, darling. It's been a long year.
For both of us.
But now, my studies are through, college is
So did they
concluded,
smash? You think they were
and
smashing?
I'm free at last.
Free? For the time being.
Huh? Oh. How about joining me for an after-dinner drink?
The living room?
Mm-hmm.
They got a smash? Huh? This was AM radio and chill
Man
back
is a
then.
hard-working human. Throughout the day, his mind and his muscles are busy at building the modern world and its business administration. His clothing is
Sure was
rough,
a lot of white people
coarse,
doing work back then.
starched according to the specifications of his accepted job. At home, what does modern man have to look forward to for his body comfort? The things provided for his home, a wool or flannel robe, his feet encased in the same thick, tight-fitting leather that his shoes are made of. These are the things provided for his home comfort.
Michael
It doesn't
Chiklis?
look so comfortable, does it?
Time to do some shield work.
And get the hat. Better still, get the receding hairline.
I tell you, I get
Men's
no
hats are so tight
respect.
They cut off the blood flow to the head, thus cutting off the growth of hair. 7 out of 10 men wear a hat.
They think wearing
So the
hats are why people went
advertisements
bald?
say. 7 out of 10 men are bald. But what about the ladies? Yes, modern woman is a hard-working individual also.
Nah.
When modern woman's day of work is done, that which is designed for her own comfort is comfort. Hats that give no obstruction to the blood flow. Hats that do not.
So we just need softer hats?
Interesting thought, isn't it? Just for comparison, let's go native. Back to the animal instinct.
Oh,
there in the lesser civilized part of the world, it's the male who adorns himself with fancy objects such as paints, frills, and masks.
It's Kamala! It's Kamala!
Bird and animal life. Is it not so that it's the male who is the fancy one? Could it be that the male was meant to attract the attention of the female? What's so wrong about that? Where is the animal instinct in modern civilization? Female has the fluff and the finery, as specified by those who design and sell. Little Miss Female, you should feel quite proud of the situation.
Yeah, you feel proud of the situation,
you,
Little Miss Female?
That it's predominantly men who design your clothes, your jewelry, your makeup, your hairstyling, your perfume.
So be grateful, you stupid cunts.
Even though its changes are slow, moves on. There's no law against wearing such apparel on the street, as long as it can be distinguished that man is man and woman is woman. But what is it that would happen were this individual to appear this way on the street?
They beat me in this period piece. They beat me in this period piece.
Thus, the strange case of Glen, who was Glenda, one and the same person. Not half man, half woman, but nevertheless, man and woman in the same body, even though by all outward appearances, Glen is fully and completely
Okay, but can someone stop the eerie music? He's just looking at dresses. Relax. Just buy it or don't. Make up your mind, dude.
Sister, let me borrow her dress.
You want to borrow your sister's dress? What for?
I want to wear it to the Halloween party.
There are names for boys who go around wearing girls' clothes.
Oh, don't be silly.
What are some of those names?
You go ahead and wear your sister's dress.
F-bombs?
You always did look much better as a girl than you do as a man.
Jesus!
Glen did wear the dress to the Halloween
It's really
party.
mean.
He even took first prize.
But it wasn't Halloween. It was a July
Then
party.
one day, it wasn't Halloween any longer.
Yeah, there it is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, he's gonna get caught. Glen's gonna get caught being a tranny. Why'd you sit and wait so long? Is she dying?
I wish I had the sight into such things to be able to advise you, Sheila.
But I'm just a dumb woman, and I can't think about things besides typing and getting coffee for the boys.
The doctor. But when things like this go wrong with someone so close and in your own family, it's so hard to believe. It's not really hard to believe. It's just hard for you to accept. Well,
Because, again, you have a small girl brain like I do. We're talking about men here. We're not qualified in any way.
Some night. And find Glen like
I'm just sad that they let us vote.
Yeah. That would be hard to explain.
That's the understatement of the year.
Of the year?
Just how does one go about introducing...
Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment.
Your brother's wearing your best sweater and your skirt and makeup to boot.
Can you at least put it in the garbage can, you dumb broads?
Glen is not a homosexual. Glen is a transvestite.
Yeah, it's a
but he is not a homosexual.
He's a homosexual, transvestite.
Transvestism is the term given by medical science to those persons who desperately wish to wear the clothing of the opposite sex, yet whose sex life in all instances remains quite normal.
Okay.
Would you be surprised to know that this rough, tough individual was wearing pink satin undies under his rough exterior clothing?
Yeah, that would shock me.
Then there is your friend the milkman who knows how to find
Fuck your what? Oh.
at home.
Division 7's way worse than Division
I can't
6, dude.
stand it any longer. He
Longer.
wears all my clothes. Nothing is sacred to him, even my briefs.
Suffering.
He has every one of my sweaters stretched out of shape. Of course, he has always replaced them. But then, they didn't last long either.
But, Your Honor, ruffles on his shirts and shorts. Really?
Glen and all the hundreds of thousands of other Glens across the nation face quite a problem. Glen is engaged to be married to Barbara, a lovely, intelligent girl. The problem? Glenda, Glen's other self.
You couldn't think of a better name than Glenda?
His other
What a dumb name.
You look tired tonight, Glen.
Yeah, I guess I am. It's been a long day.
Have you seen the paper yet?
No, why?
It's headlines. A man had his sex changed to a woman. Isn't that a strange case? I wonder how some people's mind works.
Have you, by the way, unrelated note, have you seen my underwear? I seem to keep losing them.
But to change one's sex, that's a pretty drastic step to take.
If it's the only way, I'm for it.
What?
I wonder what I would do in a case like that if I were in the mental turmoil. that person went
1955 propaganda,
through. Or if
folks.
I suddenly realized that something was mentally wrong with you. Ooh, it's hard to visualize. Here we are.
It's not that hard.
Two perfectly normal people, got to be
Glen.
married, lead a normal life together. And there's this poor fellow who never could have been happy if it wasn't for modern medical science. Our fourth term in psychology explains a lot of the facts, but I'm afraid the end of study is only the beginning of reality.
No woman's that smart. Someone wrote that for her.
But he must tell her soon. She's begun to notice things. His nails, his eyes when he looks into a ladies' store window.
The lipstick he wears when they kiss.
That are hard to hide. Soon she will realize. Then there was the time Barbara was
Whoa!
PG-13. His own body. It was becoming an obsession to him. He must have it.
What's the matter, Glen, darling?
I guess I was daydreaming.
Something seems to be troubling you. Why don't you tell me?
It's nothing.
Once, long ago, just after we started going steady together, we promised we'd never lie to each other.
Well, that was a lie.
Start now, just because we're engaged to be married?
Yes.
It's just that... Oh, Barbara, it's nothing. That little sleep won't cure. It's been an awful long day.
It's more than that. Come on, tell me, darling. Who knows? Maybe I can help.
That's just it. You could.
Then something is troubling you.
Yes.
Do I have a right to know?
No, you're a woman. No, you don't.
But let's just say
It's the 50s and you're a woman, so shut up.
I'm afraid to tell you. I'm afraid I'd lose you.
Nothing could be as bad as all that.
Well, I saw some hitchhiking kids earlier and I picked them up. And now they're dead.
Can change that.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Glen.
Alois, get off my ass, Barb. Uh-oh. Pull the string. Pull the string.
A mistake's made.
Pull the string.
A story must be told.
I can't hear you over the thunder.
Always the same. He's not had the nerve to tell her. But he must soon come to some conclusion or forget the marriage. Should he tell Barbara of his Glenda now, before the wedding, or hit her between the eyes with it after?
Like a punch, like woman, mouthy woman's face.
The world is a strange place to live in.
Especially if you're black.
Cars, all going someplace, all carrying humans which are carrying.
Yeah, man, we know how cars work, dude. We got it. What does that have to do with trannies?
The world is shocked by a person who changed his sex.
Yes.
Glenda is shocked also, but by another reason. Someone like her had the nerve to do something factual about their situation.
Uh-oh.
There's so many problems for Glen and all the other Glens.
Perhaps the fear of discovery of the underthings they wear beneath their regular outer clothing, or that which they wear during their nightly visit to Morpheus, god of sleep.
Oh, I thought Morpheus was the name of the gay club in town.
I'm sure she's going to enjoy it very much. If you want to return it, be sure that you bring
Yeah,
your sales slip.
she's going to enjoy it. He looks around.
Can I help you, sir?
Yeah.
Let me get that titty.
See a 90.
Oh, well, what size?
12.
The color, the material?
Black, very sheer.
Nice, very sheer.
Well, we have this here.
Wow, she just had that ready to rock?
Something like this? As lace?
Yeah.
Smoking in a
Perhaps
store. Yeah,
he
you can do that.
admires the material too long.
You can see how sheer the material really is.
Yes.
You see, it's all pure nylon and only $21.95.
That's a lot of money back then.
Never snag.
21.9. That was like a couple $100 now.
But Glen and Glenda and all the Glens and Glendas have an even bigger problem.
This storm that doesn't stop. Want to go to the park so I can give you a hand job? Oh, I was kidding. Uh-oh.
The homosexual, it
Yes.
is true, at times does adopt the clothing or the makeup of a woman to lure members of his own sex.
Nice.
But this is not so for the transvestite. The transvestite is not interested in those of their own sex. The clothing is not worn to attract the attention of their own
Many
sex,
of them are.
but to eliminate themselves from being a member of that sex.
Whoa. Hey, dude, you need a light, bro?
Monday again. You know, I think Monday is about the worst day of the week. A perfectly wonderful weekend, then back to the sweatshops. Too bad we was born to work. Say, did you read about the guy that had his
No
sex
wonder people had
changed
like
to a
lung
girl?
cancer back then. Look at
Says he
these
was
factories.
perfectly normal, too. How can a guy be normal and go and do a thing like that to himself? All the same, it must take a lot of guts to pull a stunt like that.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a problem I don't ever
A lot of
intend
balls,
to face.
too.
Maybe it's a problem we should all face. I don't get you. Just think of the unhappy life. The miserable time this world of ours must have given that poor guy.
We should do it to 9-year-olds and celebrate it on Good Morning America.
Wanted to be a girl. Supposing there had been no way to change his sex. You sound as if you're really head up on this thing. I guess I am. Do you realize what
Greatest
would happen if
generation,
every
my
man in
ass.
the country that wanted to wear women's clothes or felt like a woman went to their doctors and wanted a sex change? Of course. That's why I
What does
say
this have to do with a
perhaps society should
factory?
be a little bit more
Are they going to
lenient
kill
with it.
Terminator here in a
Maybe
second? Because then I
society should
get it.
try
If they're going to kill a
understand
Terminator, that's
human
fine.
beings. Another day done. Thank goodness. See you tomorrow, Jack.
Yeah,
Storms keeps
So
coming.
long,
Very
Joe.
stormy.
until tomorrow.
Hi, Glen.
Hi, Johnny.
Come on in and hit it right for the kitchen.
And don't worry about it. Don't close my door. It's fine. I don't care.
I thought I was
I mean,
going
you
to
pay
have
the
to
air
eat
conditioning
alone
bill.
tonight.
Well, you probably will because I've already eaten.
No, this documentary isn't about Owen's dad.
Say, you really look down in the dumps.
I guess I got a problem.
Haven't we all?
I mean a real problem. One.
Not one of your fake problems, like that time you had cancer. I have an actual real issue. I want to wear women's clothing, and I want everybody to accept me. And it's the 50s, so I really have to have some balls, which is ironic, because I want to lose them.
When did this all come about?
For nearly a year, I've been engaged to a very wonderful girl. Now the time is getting very close to the man with the book. I'm scared to death.
Well, what does that mouth do, though?
Very much.
Does she love you?
I don't know.
There's no problem.
Thank you, K-Dog.
Marry the girl.
Are you forgetting about my other self?
You'll have to tell her, of course.
Yeah. I have to tell her. But when?
I guess right now?
Before? Or after?
I think you know the answer to that one yourself.
My mind's in a muddle. Like in a thick fog.
But I did just do some heroin before I came here, so it could be that.
I thought I could stop wearing these things. I tried, honestly, I tried. I haven't had a stitch of them on for nearly 2 weeks until tonight. Then I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to put them on or go out of my mind. I'm afraid I'll lose her.
You fucking should.
I don't want that to happen.
You have mental disease.
I really love her.
Okay. Here's a story from fact.
Oh boy, now another story?
Johnny tells his story. He had not too long ago been married himself. He had kept quiet about his transvestite desires in the hopes that the new wife would never discover it. However, one day, the little woman came home unexpectedly.
The little woman. No, wait! I'm just goofing! I'm new robe goofing. I'm just new robe goofing. Leave me alone. Come on. Ah, what was that?
Here. Will your problem be like mine? Most probably it will. Because the love hasn't been built up for such a thing. She, your wife, she will not have been taught enough about the problems to cope with it.
So are we gonna fuck each other's mouths or what? Did you come all the way over here to tell me this story? Or are we gonna give ourselves hand jobs while we close our eyes?
Glenda should consult a competent psychiatrist, but then
But they don't exist.
change their strange desires. This is their life. To take it away from them might do as great a harm as taking away an arm or a leg, or life itself. Many even carry their transvestite desires to the grave with them.
Well, we gotta get this guy in a suit. He looks ridiculous.
Yes, it is a problem. But Glenda, remember back almost a year ago when Glen and Barbara accepted each other?
Oh, you're right. They're lesbians. Sorry.
Okay.
That's the 6th time you've said goodnight.
I guess it is.
Are you gonna smash?
Come on over here a minute.
What is it?
Never mind, just sit down.
Just sit down and shut up. A man's talking.
Oh, I was beginning to think you'd never get around to it.
Did you mean you will?
What do you think?
She said yes.
I must finish college first. It's only 7 months to go.
Well, now that's hardly long enough for you to get a trousseau together.
How would you know about such things?
They gonna smash now? Well, I have to tell you about something else. Now that I got you all excited, I have to tell you the person you've known for many years, I've been lying to you. I'm actually a mentally ill transvestite. But you already said yes, so no take-backsies.
Yes, I guess I was, huh? That's a mighty pretty dress you're wearing tonight.
I wear my best to please you.
You know, when...
That's a good woman.
Just tie me in knots.
She's too good for this guy. She's too good for this transvestite.
Oh, I'll be so happy when these next few months are over.
Some special reason?
Of course. So you can stop kissing me goodbye at the door every night.
Yes?
So you can hold me close to you always.
Yes.
It's Glenda's back. Glenda. Hi, Glenda. No! That storm is killing people now. I told you, something up with the weather.
Beware of the big green dragon that sits on your doorstep.
He eats little boys. Puppy ducktails and big fat snails. Beware. Take care. Beware.
Belle, I can't hear you over the storm, bud. I'm sure you were saying something insightful, but all I hear is thunder. Oh boy. Dream scenes. Dream scenes are the best. Oh boy. Now is she gonna kiss him and is he gonna turn? Oh, he's gone! Where did he go? You're too good for him, honey. You're too good for him. Oh God, here we go. This is very dramatic, guys. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen? Wait, what? Why is that a tree? You're not man enough to get the tree up because you're just a tranny girl. You're faking it because you want to look fragile. Did you kill her? Oh, the man can get it up though. Got it. But what? Your house is very unsafe, and that would probably have crushed and killed her. She got a nice booty, though. Where did they get married? A Ramada Inn? I'm sorry, this is your wedding. Can we at least turn the lights on for this? And why isn't she wearing a wedding dress? It's the literal devil. It's the literal devil showed up. That's pretty dope guest to have at your fucking wedding. You got to admit. Like, he doesn't show up to everybody's wedding. You get the devil to show up at your wedding. People are going to be talking about your wedding. Sonny Crockett. Sup, Satan? You chilling? Clinton showed up.
Tell me, dragon, do you eat little boys?
What?
Puppy ducktails and big fat snails?
Puppy ducktail, puppy ducktail, puppy ducktail. Everything.
This is how Anderson Cooper wakes up every morning. Anderson Cooper hears this in his head and he wakes up just like this and looks in the mirror before he goes out. That's a fact. It's a Daywave fact. Ooh, wow, BDSM, huh? Look at that. Nice. Bad girl. Why is he whipping her face, though? It's not sexy if you whip her face. Oh, now you're hurting her. He beats me on this hat. Whoa, hey. We got some nips going on over here? What's happening? Very racy for a 1955 movie. I'm sorry, am I missing the symbolism here? Is this some sort of sexy circus now? Next, we're gonna do some dancing. Should we do one of these? So Bela Lugosi's having a burlesque show. I'm sorry. Somebody explain to me what this has to do with Glenda, or being. Is this a break? Was this a piss break for people? It's Poison Ivy. What is this now? No, seriously, what does this have to do? We were following this plot about a dude trying to turn into a girl, and now what is this? This feels like they just put this in from another movie. These are Crowder's inner thoughts. That's fucking right. This is sneaking music. Again, am I missing? This is the same movie, right? Did we actually change the channel? Some sort of French rape scene? You're not fighting back that hard. What's happening here? All right. I can take a hit. I have to. This is getting weird. So is she raping her again? Whatever. But what does this have to do with tranny Glenda? Does anybody know? Am I missing something? And now it's the ring? What's happening? This is like the music they play on Main Street USA in Disney World. Bela Lugosi is getting all worked up. No, seriously, again, what does this have to... This, I don't... Is Glenda in this again? Was this just like what their porn was back then? Right? Was this what their porn was? What is she doing? All right, so now who's this? Is this the devil again? Is he also... Is all a rape in this movie? What does this have to do with trannies? Wouldn't you try to run away? So, I'm sorry. Please tell me if I'm correct here. Glenda's being a tranny is causing these women to be semi-lesbians and be raped? $1955. This is worse than the sex scene from The Room. Now, I get that Glenn is a sexual pervert, but are we still in Glenda's head right now? What's happening? That was like a fever dream. What the fuck was that about? Was this an excuse just so Edward could cast these girls and fuck them? That had to be what it was, right? Oh, it's the witch again. The witch is back. Michael Chiklis is there. That's the noise. That's ghost noises, which really sounds a lot like the storm. Whoa, where'd she come from?
I'm a girl. I'm not. Everything right. Everything right. Ha ha ha. Happy dog tail.
The devil's back. What up, dog? High five? High five. Double high five. Okay, no. Oh, he walked away. We're friends though. We know each other. I thought he was high five. He wasn't high five. Okay. Where'd the devil go? Oh, see, I get it. All those devil-y thoughts was when him trying to stay a man. But the moment he turned into a woman, all the devils went away in his head. I get it. I get it. You're gay. I got it. You wanted access to their clothes. You're right. $1955, folks. Are we still in the dream scene? Or am I on the Figment ride in Epcot? Oh no, it was a trick. It was a trick. The devil was still there. The devil was still, it was a trick. The devil's a real prankster. Oh boy. There she is. Come on. Whoa, hey, close your legs, young lady. You're man-spreading. So, you can't, I'm just goofing. I'm flannel blouse goofing. Come on, man. This is exactly what happens at Epstein's Island. This is really, this is a rendering, but this is what happens at Epstein's Island. You're looking at it right here, folks. Tickle, 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 tickle. Stop, ticklish. Stop, ticklish. Stop. That's why they're laughing. They're all ticklish. You stop it. Tickle. Don't tickle me. Stop tickling me. Oh, not you. You could stop. You definitely don't tickle me. Ah, the devil's back.
Beware of the big green dragon that sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys. Puppy dog tail.
Sounds like when they're describing John Wick in the first movie.
Beware, take care. Beware.
Ah, my fainting couch. All right, who used my lipstick?
Then, Glenda has made the decision.
They beat me in this house. Oh, sorry.
Glen has decided to tell Barbara of his dual personality. To tell her of the nighties and negligees, the sweaters and skirts, the robes and dresses,
The doodads,
stockings
the
and
thingamajigs.
high-heeled shoes, the wig and the makeup.
The shirts and the
All
butts.
that goes to make Glen into Glenda.
Fun fact,
He
Ed
tells
played
Barbara
Glen
he
and
cannot
Glenda
cheat
under
her
a
the
pseudonym.
knowledge that she is his fiancée.
Well, yeah, man, he hit it for a while, though. He was definitely a
All the
cross-dresser.
He tells her softly, hurriedly at first, then slowly as he becomes more technical. His hands move to caress the smooth material of her Angora sweater, which he has so long and so desperately wanted to put on his own body.
Leave him, honey. You could do better. I keep telling you.
To the sweater and to his hand. Then, when it is all over and that much of the story he knows is told, Barbara is not sure of her own thoughts.
That's about it, darling. I wanted to tell you for a long, long time, but just couldn't bring myself to do it. I've been too much afraid of losing you.
Poor woman, prime of her life. Don't marry this guy. Why would you marry this guy? You're too good for him. Fucking drag. At least the storm's over. Oh man, I get it. The storm's over now because he did it. I got it. Guys, will she accept him? Will she accept him? She caught the vapors. She caught the vapors.
I don't fully understand this, but maybe together we can work it out.
Said no woman in the 50s ever. What the? What? So I just found out that... Oh, so he could wear it. I see.
Is that the end of the story?
Not
Seriously, it's boring and I have to pee.
Glen's case is really the lesser advanced type cases. The second case is an extremely advanced one.
Oh,
However, I'll get to that in a moment.
There's another
First, you
case?
must realize that the world over has its own particular problem. Each case must be handled individually according to the person, his past life, and his problem.
And electroshock therapy. Years and years of electroshock therapy.
That a true transvestite does.
And he isn't a hermaphrodite?
No more than he's a pseudo-hermaphrodite. Glen's case was entirely...
What's a pseudo-hermaphrodite? A fake hermaphrodite?
What about their children, Doctor? Would their children become the same way their father is?
No.
No, they won't have kids. They'll kill themselves way before they have a chance.
To wear girls' clothes.
Many things. But as I've said before, it usually starts in early childhood from one cause or another. Technically, each case has the same beginning, just a different set of circumstances.
Are any of them actually cured?
Oh, yes, man.
With a bullet.
Once the source of supply is found, it can be stopped, unless the patient refuses to cut off that source of supply.
Then the way I get it, this Glen and the character he created, much as an author creates a character in a book, was invented as a love object to take the place of the love he never received in his early youth through lack of it from his parents. The character was created and dressed and lives the life the author designs for him to live and dies only when the author wants him to die.
Correct. Except that for the character Glenda to die, the elements must be right.
And don't you ever fucking interrupt me again. I don't care if you're a cop. I'll fucking punch a bitch right at his face.
Let's call this person Alan. Ann.
Uh-oh.
Alan had a mother who wanted a little girl. The father didn't care much one way or the other. Alan did not enter the competitive sports that the other boys at the school did.
Because he was white. Oh, it's the 50s. They're all white.
And always had above average marks in his subjects. Yet sports, girls' sports, he always was interested in. But he was rejected by the girls.
What do you mean girl sports? Girl can play any sport that men can play, okay? Look at the U.S. women's soccer team. Shut up. All right, go play tetherball with the other girls.
And the father who didn't care one way or the other. He enjoyed doing the woman's work around the house.
Alan was becoming a woman and didn't realize it. A woman in mind only, but the mind rules.
Because remember, women clean and men don't. 50s were grand time.
He was drafted. He was accepted. In the Army, he successfully passed his vigorous training.
After fucking his sergeant.
For the weekends for his particular diversions. On his weekend passes, he would go to the nearest town where he had a suitcase checked in a public locker.
And after fucking his sergeant again.
In the suitcase, he had the things he loved to wear. That which made his body appear to be what his mind believed it was. Then the day of embarkation came. But wherever Alan went, the suitcase was sure to go.
Oh, my hand! Hey, let me just tell you something. These guys storming Normandy, they didn't die for Alan or Glenda. Just so you know. Stop, fucking Ed Wood, you piece of shit. Stop pretending like these people were dying for tranny. That's what's being implied here. What's being implied by Ed Wood is that these people were dying for trannies. Go fuck yourself. So now we're just gonna watch war film. Like, dude, come on, man. We did your little pseudo-intellectual dream. Why aren't we watching? What happened to Ed Wood?
Then, as quickly as it had begun, the war was over. Alan came home.
The war was around for a while. It was quickly as it begun.
Like himself, but no one had found out his aversion. He was honorably discharged from the service at the end of the war.
For fucking his sergeant. I don't know if I brought it up earlier. He fucked his sergeant.
While he was in an army hospital recuperating from a wound he had received in New Guinea, he learned a very interesting fact. He learned
that you can get AIDS from New Guinea men.
With a sex change, man to woman, woman to man. Shortly after his separation from service, Alan came to me for advice. There followed many long sessions with my clinical reports and the reports of eminent doctors.
Who all agreed he should not have fucked his sergeant. Oh, did I bring that up? You're bringing that up too much, bud.
Hermaphrodite. A hermaphrodite is one who has the organs of both the male and female in plain sight. A pseudo-hermaphrodite is one who has one perfectly formed organ of either sex and one imperfectly formed one that's difficult to detect. Alan was of the latter. Alan was then given his choice. That which nature had given him was a mistake. It was up to us to correct that mistake one way or the other. Alan had to decide whether he wanted to become a man or she wanted to become a woman. Both were completely possible. Small boned, fair of complexion, his hair thin like a woman's.
I'm getting hot just talking about it.
Slightly girlish. It was easy to see his
So now you're talking to the camera?
Along with the fact that he had been
Weren't you talking to the cop? Now you're talking to the camera?
Was the thing to be.
What are you, fucking Ferris Bueller?
Decided to become a woman. This, after all the help I could give him, was only the beginning. During the following 2 years, he was to go through the tortures of the damned. But never was there a whimper from him because he knew that at the end of it all, he would at last be that which he had always dreamed.
A guy who didn't fuck his sergeant.
Parts of his body. Alan's face was worked on with plastic surgery to smooth out the female elements. Long, tedious...
Now, this was the 50s, so they did a terrible job.
The big day, or the starting of many big days, for it was to take many. The series of operations are performed slowly and at intervals
I don't want
any unnecessary shock to the nervous system. Still, the hormone shots continue. Day after day, week after week, month after month. And even then, when the operation is over, the sex has changed, the shots must continue as long as Alan lives. First, the breasts are brought out. The body of the woman within begins to appear now.
Are they showing a sex change operation From 1955. Well, not a real one, but you know what I mean. This is, again, the 50s. Please remember, this is the 50s. Hey, check out these tits. Yeah, I can't imagine 1950 sex changes were great. Yeah, this is actually worth the horror music, you're right.
A major surgery. The removal of the man and the formation of the woman.
Ah, they're cutting his dick right now. They're cutting his dick. Did they finish cutting his dick? I don't know how many people watched this in the 50s. That's a very good question. So now he's a girl. He went through the operation. Didn't they like used to kill doctors used to do this in the 50s? I'm serious. Like, this had to be like in the bigger. I can't even think of the bigger cities. Like, this was happening in the 50s.
But in time, Alan is Anne, a very happy, lovely young lady that modern medicine and science has created almost as a Frankenstein monster. The newspapers heard of it and hit the story with their usual fullness. Papers had not gotten hold of the story, it would have gone untold, unnoticed as so many others in medical history. The sex change has been performed hundreds of times. However, right here in this particular sex switch, it's not the end. Acting the woman and being the woman are two entirely different things. Alan had all his life acted the part of the woman. Now he is that woman and must...
So he had to be a hysterical crier and never decide where to go to dinner. There's a lot of things that come with being a woman.
For her facial contours.
Being a woman also involves getting mad when your husband buys you a vacuum cleaner, but deep down inside, you love that he got you a new vacuum cleaner.
Continuing my own psychiatric treatment, it was my duty now to explain to Anne the duty of a woman in her sex
Glenda
life.
only made $20K at box
Alan,
office.
of
That's
course, had
hilarious.
known the man's, but he was soon to realize...
Have a cigarette, bro.
...about a woman's. Yet, through it all, Anne loved every minute of it. Anne was indeed meant to be a woman, and now that the sex change had been completed, Anne was a very happy woman.
No, Anne was a dude with a fucked up penis.
...by society. A woman born at the age of 24 in a world that for 24 years...
This is from the 50s.
...but a woman who now would and was properly instructed in how to accept a woman's world. Thus, this case, which has a happy ending, is due entirely to the corrections made by medical science. I've had several such cases. In fact, in my 20 years of practice, I've been prominent in 7. However, my colleagues have had hundreds.
Then you believe that the Glen of the first story should have the sex change?
In Glen's case, no. No, indeed.
No, he was sexy as a man in a dress.
The Alan of your story ended happy?
I'll tell it to you exactly as I told it to them.
Alan killed himself 2 years later.
For girls' clothing, he started treatments with me. On the last treatment, both he and Barbara came to me. I told
and then on me.
The story of Alan, Anne, as I've told it to you, Inspector. Anne was a pseudo-hermaphrodite. Even though one of the sexes was imperfect, she had the organs and the characteristics of both the male and female. Glen's case is an entirely different type of case. Remember I said, no matter what the case, it's a different thing. A new problem to be looked into, then solved. A new challenge to the psychoanalysis. Glen's...
A new high cost to the taxpayer.
Male. In all our talks, I've learned these pertinent facts. Glen's father had no love for his son.
And can you blame him?
And to be a football hero or a baseball player.
so that he could brag to his cronies down at the corner saloon as his cronies bragged to him about their own son.
Whoa, hey, just sorry. Sorry that his dad wanted his kid to play some ball.
He invented it when he could find no love from
You're
his
a
mother
crony,
and no love from
crony.
his father. His mother had hated her own father. Glen reminded her of her father. Therefore, she gave all her affection, love, and attention to her daughter. Glen then decided also to become a daughter. Glen, you can kill this fictitious character of yours anytime you wish.
By killing yourself. Again, we recommend it. Here's a handgun and a Don't Be a Pussy pamphlet.
By transferring her qualities to Barbara.
Exactly. But as the author and his character, the elements must be right.
Earth, fire, wind, water, and heart. And you'll summon Captain Tranny. By your powers combined, I will raise the suicide rate.
And it'll be a hard job, but you'll enjoy doing the job.
Should I let him continue to wear girls' clothing? Or should I put my foot down?
If you put your foot down, he'd only go behind.
Put your foot down on his testicles. He gets off on that. He told me earlier.
Glenda must be transferred to you.
Supposing Glen never gets over wearing girls' clothing.
Would it?
Learn how to scissor.
I love Glen.
I also hate Jews. We're not talking about that, but I just thought I should bring it up. Whimsical again, baby. Back to the whimsy. Turn the court, bitch. Goat hands are if you ever talk to the doctor again about me.
A happily married life, the remembrance of the psychiatric treatments, and Barbara's love and understanding, Glenda begins to disappear forever from Glen. Glen has found his mother, his little sister, his wife.
Oh, Glenda's gone. She fixed him.
One lovely package.
She fixed him.
Thus, Glen's case has a happy conclusion.
She fixed him.
Therefore, two entirely different cases, handled in two entirely different ways, have a happy ending.
She fixed him. She prayed the gay away.
Two. But what of the
she prayed the
hundreds of
gay
other
away.
Fortunate Glens the world over.
She did it. She did it, guys. She fixed him. Gee, who saw this coming? This wasn't coming for a while.
Yes. But what of the others? Less fortunate Glens, the world over.
Barb is a real hero, guys.
Oh, snips and snails and puppy dog tails.
Barb is a hero. This had a way happier ending than I thought it was going to have. Barb saved him. She fought the devil, she fought the law, and the law didn't win. That was fun. I had a good time. I hope you guys had a fun time doing that. That's Glen or Glenda, a 1953 film. I actually caught wind of this when I was watching Trolita's show. So I would definitely recommend checking out her show. She was playing Three Stooges stuff too, which is great. It's on D Live. Post your link in there, Trolita. I hope you guys had a good time. I really did. I really did have a good time. I think I got one donation through the whole thing. Let me play it.
Whoa! Look at that.
I'm too old for this. Shush sound coming from this movie. Wish I could stay and watch. Have a great day.
Oh, thank you. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Let's see here. Fuck up my camera a little bit. Hold on. There we go. Sorry, I yanked my camera down by mistake at one point. There we go. I think we're good. I think we're fixed. Looks good, right? Looks good. Looks good. Looks that way. This way. That. All right. All right. All right. There we go. Much better. That was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did that. I think the Quantum Leap ones will be next, and followed by the Super. That was a really, really fun show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The riff is there. I'm gonna put the riff up somewhere. It's gonna be here on the D Live replay for like a week, but I'll probably put it up on the BitChute or one of my maybe Daywave Party backup accounts. So we'll see. We will see. We will definitely do. I promise you, we'll be doing those Quantum Leap episodes. They'll be next. Maybe even next week. Who knows? We'll see what we do. Did you guys enjoy it? I really did. I really did. I had a good time with this one. All right. Again, I haven't seen that one as many times as Birdemic, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back though in 4 hours for Revenge of the Sis. Will you be there? You better be there. I'm gonna open up that chest here. I'm opening up that chest, y'all. Open up the chest here on D Live. Thank you, everybody. That was a lot of fun. See you in 4 hours, and I hope every single one of you have a fantastic and amazing Daywave.